Hey, you guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the Goodness Gracious Podcast, Season 41, Episode 20. Let's get into some all things housewives. Let's talk about the housewives and nothing but the housewives. Because you guys already know I'm a housewives fanatic. So come on, y'all. Let's get on into it. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. Part 3, sneak peek. Baby, this sneak peek right here has the Twitter universe in shambles. The folks are not feeling it. There's so many people saying that Giselle and Robin have ruined this show. Giselle and Robin can't get away from these colorism claims. And Mia, I'm gonna need you to pipe down. Anyway, this sneak peek is about Giselle holding Wendy and Candace and Deborah accountable for the fight that they had at her fashion show, GNA. Okay, remember, she had left because her father was sick, so she wasn't even there. Okay, but she is blaming mainly Candace and Wendy for what went down. Meanwhile, Ashley sits quietly on the end of the couch.
I think Deborah, Candace, Wendy.
Wow.
Hey, everyone's responsible.
Wow. Y'all want me to be friends with this? Like, you want me to make up with this?
Well, what did I do?
Here you go again with these blanket statements.
That's how I feel.
What did
Wendy had nothing
Wendy
to do with that.
do in the physical
wasn't in
altercation when each time you see me
She wasn't
literally
in that.
dodging
Yes, she
not to
wasn't
get
there.
so
She
what
wasn't
did Wendy
ready
She
do?
was in the
Wendy
group, but
what
she
did
was
Wendy
was
do?
Okay,
trying
I'll
to
take
stop
Wendy
it.
out of it.
First person
I'll take it.
So she's going to take Wendy out of it because Mia is telling her to take Wendy out of it. Meanwhile, Wendy is talking to Giselle and she's asking her, what the hell did I do? How did I get in this? I was just there dancing and enjoying myself. Okay.
I'll take Wendy out of it.
She just on camera. She just took it back.
Okay.
She took back that Wendy's responsible.
So no.
But somehow Candace is responsible.
Trying to start a business and it being on TMZ for there to be a brawl is disturbing.
Yes.
Blame Ashley. And if that is disturbing, then what about when Mia threw a drink on Wendy? That wasn't disturbing? Oh, yeah, that's right, because it didn't pertain to you. Okay.
Candace,
Yes.
again, please repeat, because I don't want to quote you. Why did you call her a varmint? When did that happen?
After she walked, after she walked up to me,
Right.
cameras were down. We were standing around. I was standing there with my champagne, dancing, and she walked up to me, came from this direction, walked over, got right in my face, and said, "Do you have something that you want to say to me?" I said, "No. Come get this vermin out of my face."
No, but you can't do that.
Yes.
What? Mia? Why can't she do that? It has been agreed when it comes to the housewives, especially Candy Burrs. When you get in somebody's space, when you get in my space, in my face, oh, hell no. No. There's none of that.
Yes, I can.
I mean,
yes, I
Candace, call
can.
it
You
name
cannot
calling.
tell me how to respond to someone who has
Okay,
already
well, then
threatened me,
that's why she
being
threw the drink.
disrespectful to me.
So they feel like Mia's saying because because Deborah got in her face and she called her Vernon or Venom or whatever, she feels like that's why you got the drink thrown in your face. Since when is throwing words resulting in violence? Like, Kenya Moore has been shading the girls for years and ain't nobody tried to hit her. Well, wait a minute now. Portia did drag her.
Do you think you really would have swung it at her?
I don't know what I would have done. I know that I turned around. I saw this person lunging at me. I'm not expecting you all to fight for me. Okay?
Now, while she's crying, guess who's on the other end of the couch smirking and laughing? Old Juan Dixon's roommate herself, Robin.
So I'm on my own. Okay?
So everyone is saying this is deplorable for Andy Cohen to sit there and allow Giselle to blame this fight on Candace and Wendy, knowing that Ashley is to blame. Ashley brought her friend to the show, the one that had accused not only Candace's husband, but also Wendy's husband of flirting. And so how is it my fault? If anything, I should have cussed you out because you came into my workplace and you provoked me after you had already been online going back and forth with me, talking about my husband was trying to flirt with you and looking at you and giggling or whatever. Like, What is happening? Andy Cohen, you do not look good in this reunion. It looks like favoritism for Giselle Bryant, and the fans are saying that Giselle Bryant has ruined this show along with Robin. I mean, my mouth fell open when I seen this clip. I was like, wait, what? Hold on 1 second. No, I think Giselle is afraid to blame her business partner, Ashley. She don't mind when Ashley is being messy with everybody else, but when it comes to her messiness and then it involves their business and their money, she can't say anything though, because, she knows Ashley is messy. Ashley brought that girl Deborah down to the party. That's why she asked if the cameras were off or whatever, because the girl came to fight. The girl had a ponytail on and a one-piece suit. We know as black women, when you put the hair up in the ponytail, it's on. We want all the smoke, everything. Okay? And Mia, I'm going to need you to pipe down talking about, oh, you were wrong. It's your mouth. You shouldn't have said nothing to her. That's why you got the drink thrown on you. You forgot about this?
I am so confused. You
You telling me I need to call some guy and tell him I'm coming to town? I'm not in town for business.
No, too close to me, too close to me. Take your ass.
What did you do?
No, get up.
That's what you want to
table. No, because you're not going to talk about my husband and how
Nobody
we
was talking
operate.
about your
Get
husband.
up from the table, Wendy.
And what the are you gonna do if I don't get the out? What the are you going to do?
She's very antagonistic.
You don't get her out. I swear.
Child, the double standards, the hypocrisy of it all, the delusion, the mean girl behavior, oh my God, I cannot. I feel like if Potomac don't take a break, it's going to be hell to pay, because the fans are already turning this franchise upside down on the X and on Instagram also, because it's being shared all over. I've seen it on the YBF underscore YBF Daily, the Shade Room. I've seen it on the Neighborhood Talk. Everybody is sharing this clip, and they are flabbergasted. Okay, they cannot believe that Andy Cohen sat his ass up there and allowed this ex-first lady to perpetrate this thing against these two black women as if they brought they brought violence to her business. I'm just over it. Really, I am. As the clip was being shared, Candace tweeted out, "You all can literally have this. It's triggering. I'm sorry. Good luck." So someone said, let's read some of the comments on the Neighborhood Talk, and then we're going to move on. Someone said, so Mia attacks Wendy because she said Wendy was lying on her husband, yet Deborah lies on Chris, and Candace can't say anything back. The math ain't mathing. It sure ain't. Someone said, as much as I hate to see her leave, it was time for Candace to go. Not because she wasn't and isn't one of the best housewives of our modern era, but because that show was no longer safe to her. Now I think about it, Mama arguably has had the toughest time on the show, and FYI, Candace is definitely the Princess of Potomac, top 3 housewives ever of that city. Child. I also... For that person to say, that it isn't a safe place for her, I was listening to a YouTuber and they also said the same thing. It's a toxic environment for her and she could end up suing Bravo, okay? Because of what she's being exposed to with this whole gang up on and accuse her of. And it's really draining and toxic, and it's also depressing, okay? Someone said, I don't like Gizzard. Ever since that girl's retreat, I see her for what she is, miserable old lady who has no accolades. Someone else said, I see why she's leaving. I will miss her, but I do not like this cast. Seriously, get rid of everyone but Karen. I don't know about Karen, because Karen sat up there and was like, well, what did you mean, Candace, when you call her a Vernon or a Venom, whatever? I keep messing it up. A rat. And I'm like, okay, Karen, don't be stupid, because you said Giselle had a hot box. You said Giselle was a whore from the Hampton University. So it's not like you haven't said things that wasn't disgusting too. And now that I'm looking back at everything, I'm thinking that Karen was fooling the audience. She made it seem like she was Team Wendy and Candace throughout the season. But when she sat her ass in that chair at the reunion, she took her space next to Giselle, and she aligned herself with Giselle, because I haven't seen her come to bat not one time, only with the Chris thing, but really she has sat there and let Candace get annihilated by Giselle and Robin. What kind of friend is Karen? I don't know anymore. Someone said, so you blamed all the darker toned women when Ashley's friend that she brought to the group started it, but there's no colorism? Got it. Someone else said, Giselle is a colorist. It took Mia to defend Wendy in order for Giselle to take her out of the equation. Let's get into this next sneak peek. Let's talk about Ashley and this fake ass divorce. Andy Cohen talks to her about the divorce with Michael, and this is what she has to say.
There's speculation that your divorce is not real and it's for the TV show, and that
baby,
you're still married and just will always be married to Michael.
First of all, people have seen a fraction of what Michael and I went through.
So Ash, what was the holdup for filing divorce?
It was very contentious.
So it was just easier just to exist the way you were?
It was. We were coexisting, and I realize now that I'm on this very toxic cycle where we'll have great moments where I'm like, okay, we're co-parenting, we're friendly, we're nice, and then it's a roadblock. So when we were filming the show, we were in a toxic place. After we wrapped, he was so nice, everything was so good, and now I'm back in a toxic place. And what I realized is that...
How convenient, she's back in a toxic place while at the reunion. Okay, smells like a storyline for me for season 9, but let's continue.
There are people who have narcissistic personalities, and so I'm breaking free. I have actually filed a complaint to really initiate my divorce.
Okay.
I mean, now I feel a little more prepared and ready to
Kimberly,
do that.
Michael care either way, if you had filed or not? He was okay with just how things were going?
He's not pushing it. So, I mean, I don't know what his motive is as to why
dating?
it's not. I think he is. He took a trip on Valentine's Day.
Oh, he's dating for sure.
I think that means he's got a little boo thing.
So we found out that you still use a shared credit card with Michael for the children and Uber Eats. Any other purchases you're putting on the card?
No, that's really
You
it.
ain't putting these on the card.
I actually did put these on. I put these on the Amex.
I knew it.
He was like, "What is this?" And I said,
knew it.
I don't know. I think you should claim fraud."
This is ridiculous. At the top of the reunion, Ashley says she rubs Michael's feet every night. Now, part 3 of the reunion, it's a toxic marriage. You know, he's a narcissist. And now I'm going to file for divorce and get away from him. Girl, bye. This is so stupid. Oh my God, this is so dumb fake. And Andy Cohen sitting there, he not even saying to her, but you just said that, you know, you still rub his feet at night. Who is rubbing their ex-husband-to-be feet every night laid up in the bed? Who? It's so toxic, you wouldn't even want to be around him. So that is a lie. I'm so done with Potomac. I feel like if they don't get this show together next season, if they don't cut Robin and Ashley off this damn show, I think I'm tapping out. Because Candace is already out. Word on the street, Wendy might be gone too. So if Wendy and Candace is out, I'm out too. Because I'm not going to sit up here and watch this fugazi show and watch these 3 women who are mean girls, who think the world revolves around them and you can't say nothing to them. And if you do, they'll try to ice you out. They won't speak to you. They'll act like you're not even there. Nobody wants to see that. That's not a good watch for our housewives. We want to see a housewife show where they argue, they get into it, and they move the fuck on, okay? Even when Nene Leakes and Kenya Moore was at the height of their disagreement, they still went on their girls' trip. They still had a good time. They might have argued on the trip, but they still acknowledged each other, whether it was in a good way or bad way, whatever. These women don't know how to move on, and this is making the show stagnant and unwatchable, okay? Let's talk about Wendy Osefo, because Wendy Osefo home was burglarized last week while her and her family celebrated their spring break in Jamaica. According to TMZ, the thieves ran off with some pretty valuable items. The burglary took place sometime last week at their home in Fisk Finksburg, Maryland. At the time, the Osefos were having a blast at a resort in Jamaica, as seen in pictures from Wendy's Instagram. According to the Carroll County Sheriff's Office, the burglary was reported on the following Sunday. The thieves managed to run off with multiple high-priced items, including Wendy's Birkin bags and her jewelry. My family and I are devastated and feel violated by this intrusion, Wendy said in a statement to TMZ. We thank God no one was home, so for that we feel very blessed. Material things can always be replaced. That's right. As of right now, the investigation is ongoing. This is unfortunate. Praying for Wendy and her family, okay? They, not to get on Wendy, but Wendy, you posting up, girl. I follow you on Instagram. You be posting up when you on vacation, girl. And the police will tell you, do not let people know you are away from home. You post your pictures afterwards. But then again, that's even scary too. Because if you post your pictures afterwards, people might think you're on vacation. And I don't know. But it's more safer not to do it, so people can't keep track of, when you're not home or not. Someone said it was a scheme set up by the Blue-Eyed Bandits. Somebody said probably was Warren and Robin. Someone said you cannot post pics out of town until you're back in town. Yeah, pretty much. Now let's talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because Kenya Moore is returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yes, Kenya Moore officially announces her return to RHOA for season 16. Let's get into her promo.
I may be going with the wind, fabulous, but I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. So Kenya is returning. Somebody says she needs them checks. No, we need Kenya, because at first I thought Portia was going to be the sole OG returning, and then they were going to base the show around her and her friends. And I was like, hell to the nah, 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 in the words of Sheree Whitfield. I hope that Kenya comes back and get back into her villain ways, okay? I need for her to keep her foot on Portia's neck and her head about this whole Simon Guobadia divorce drama. Kenya will get down. She'll ask the questions, baby, because Kenya is not afraid. And people saying, oh, Kenya can't ask no question because of her situation with Mark. Yes, she can. Because if she can ask the question, so can Portia about Mark. We need to get this thing moving here. Okay, so now we got Portia, we got Kenya, and I think I heard Drew. Drew is returning too. According to the Real Housewives Zone, Sheree Whitfield is still waiting to hear her fate when it comes to returning to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Drew Sidora, however, looks to be a returning cast member. Sources tell RadarOnline.com that the producers want to add a bunch of fresh faces to next season, but want to keep a couple of the original members to anchor the show. Bring back Sheree, because she's the original OG to anchor the show. Shoot. The outlet said producers debated doing a reboot like Bravo did with the Real Housewives of New York, but decided against a full reboot. However, sources say that Sheree Whitfield is at risk of being cut, but it does look like Drew Sidora will be coming back for another season if all works out as planned. Only Portia Williams and Kenya Moore are confirmed as returning for season 16. Confirmation of the full cast is said to be coming within the next few weeks. Well, when the hell are they going to start filming? Shit, it's taking forever just for them to get a cast together. Someone said Drew over Sheree is absolutely crazy. I mourn RHOA because it's over. Yeah, I think they should bring her back. At least bring her back on a friend basis type of casting, because we need Drew. We need Sheree. Let's talk about Andy Cohen, because people are saying, when he opened up the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion, he made this big statement about moving on and finding a resolution for you women to start talking to each other and moving past conflict. And then everybody was like, well, what about the Real Housewives of New Jersey? Because from what we're hearing, Melissa and Teresa don't speak to each other. They don't even film close to each other. Okay. They have been doing their scenes separately. So if you're going to set some rules, you need to set some rules for the Real Housewives of New Jersey also. So let's get into Andy Cohen saying that it's not sustainable to have Melissa Gorga and Teresa Giudice both on the Real Housewives of New Jersey not speaking after this season. Let's get into it.
And I said it. But apparently I said it to Bryce from Entertainment Tonight, and I don't know when. I haven't seen him since BravoCon, I don't think. Apparently I told him, and it got picked up all over the place, that Jersey, the idea of having both Melissa and Teresa on the show, that it's not sustainable because they're not speaking and there are kind of two camps on the show. What I want to clarify is that I maintain that statement. It isn't a sustainable universe to have kind of two camps on the show, and I think you see that with Potomac this season and why a lot of viewers, including me, were frustrated with it. But I will say this, it somehow worked this season. Like we got through the season and it worked and it's interesting, and as I think you see from the trailer, the season is not about Melissa versus Teresa, and I think that's great. Yet they're both still on the show, and we want to see them on the show. They're both, they're both stars, and they've been on the show, forever. So it worked this season, but I stand by what I'm saying, that for the future, it's not sustainable. I don't want you to think that what I said was a condemnation on this. I don't know when.
Okay. So, yeah, he had to say that because people was calling him out for Potomac. People were saying, hey, how can you call Potomac out when Jersey is doing the same damn thing? Now, granted, it's a little bit more cringe on Potomac than it is for Jersey, but Andy Cohen is, his ears is in the streets of the X, I still call it Twitter, social media, all these Twitter pages. He's looking and he's reading and he's listening, and he know what everybody was saying. Everybody was saying, you gonna sit up there and say that about the Real Housewives of Potomac, but what about Jersey? Okay, what about them? Okay, let's talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Monica Garcia. Child, remember I shared that her and Tanisha, Heather Gay's, I don't know if she's still her hairdresser, whatever, that they was going back and forth, chasing each other down the highway. I don't know what they were doing. But anyway, she went on this podcast and she said she's pregnant with her fifth child. Is it her fifth? Okay, let's get into it, courtesy of the Real Housewives Zone. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star is pregnant and expecting her fifth child, she told Nick Viall on the April 11th episode of the Viall Files podcast. Monica revealed that she and her secret boyfriend recently found out that she is pregnant. She said, honestly, we were both in shock, she shared, but he has been incredible. Considering the couple wasn't trying for kids, Monica was surprised 3 weeks ago when doctors shared the news. I literally went into urgent care for something totally unrelated that I thought was wrong, and the doctor came in and was like, you're pregnant, she recalled. I'm like, I'm 39. Like, there's no way I'm on birth control. By all means, I should not be pregnant. Although Monica finalized her divorce with Mike in October, she explained that she's been dating her mystery man for a year. In fact, she met her partner who works at Utah at Washtenaw Excursions while filming the Bravo show on the outdoorsy property. That is where Heather and I shot. Oh, let me speak in her language. That is where Heather and I shot our snowmobiling scene, the reality star noted. So that is when I met him. I was like, give me your phone. He handed me his phone and I put my name and number in there. Child. First of all, 4 children and you're still dating? And don't get me wrong. I know people got to have a life. They got to have a social life as a single parent. But girl, you got 4 daughters. How do you even find time? I had one son and I dated for a few times and it was like, this is exhausting. I got to get home to my child. Someone said someone said she's the last person that needs to raise a kid. Oh, that's not nice. Her behavior is toxic. Now, no, I'm not saying she's a bad mother, because I don't know what kind of mother she is. I'm just saying, where are you finding the time to date when you are raising 4, and I believe it's girls, by yourself? Okay. Someone said her oldest is the mom to her sisters. Ouch, 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 ouch. Someone said, why is everyone complaining that Monica isn't coming back? No one on that cast like her. I want to watch actual friends mingle and fight. Me too. At first I was like, oh my God, Bravo dropped the ball. Andy Cole, what are you doing? Bring back Monica Garcia. And then I thought about it. I was like, ew, no. She's a little toxic to me also. And it's a little cringe to know that she was driving by Jen Shaw's house a couple of times. And I don't like that. I'm with Lisa Barlow on that. And I don't really see it for Lisa Barlow, but I see it for her on this one. We can't trust you, girl. We don't know if you coming up in our house with a camera, a microphone. Like, it's too much. Someone said ghetto desperate. Oh my God. Anyway, let's talk about Fallon. Fallon is the ex-wife to Simon Guobadia, who Portia Williams is married to and seeking a divorce from. Okay, let's get into this mess. So, Fallon stopped by Baller Alert. I believe she did a thing with Baller Alert, an interview. Anyway, this is what she had to say about Portia stealing our man. Okay.
Now, when Portia and Simon separated? No. Was anybody?
You think that was real?
No. The whole relationship, you don't think was real?
You don't think it was real at all?
No, I think it was just a ploy to get back at me.
So let me ask you this. If you ever ran into Portia, what would you talk to her about?
That wouldn't be a safe scenario.
Oh.
Why?
It's smoke.
For her, or?
It's smoke.
I mean, at the end of the day, she knows what she did. It could play out in the media however everybody wants to try to play it out. I know what she did. Simon knows what she did. Portia knows what she did. That wouldn't be a safe scenario. So I wouldn't even put myself in a predicament of even allowing that. I'm a grown woman now.
Oh, to talk to her.
Talk to her. Ain't gonna be no talking.
Ciao. So what she's alluding to is that Dennis told Fallon allegedly that Portia she was Simon's side chick in their marriage for like a year. So when you see the scene when Portia is coming over to the house and she acting like she meeting Simon for the first time at the pool, and she giving him the fist bump, they're saying that that's all a lie. Portia was already dating him. She was just playing it off like, she just met him for the first time. I believe it. Portia is grimy. She's grimy. Y'all, I don't know how Bravo don't see what we see. Portia, I like her. She's beautiful. She's, she turned her life around after her divorce. Mad props to her. But she grimy and she slimy and she will do some slick shit and then act like she's the victim. Now she's on Amazon. But I just want to say, if you believe in God and God will bring you through your darkest hours and God will be the one who is there for you, don't call on your friends. Don't call on nobody. Call on God. Girl, stop. Stop it. Anyway, so it looks like Fallon is still trying to get her lickbacks at Portia because she out here hanging out with Dennis. Dennis and Fallon are outside together. Okay.
For real.
Absolutely. It's
For
my
real.
favorite.
Henny what?
Henny what?
Henny who?
Henny who?
Come on, man.
Henny where?
Stop playing. Yo, pull up in Montgomery, man. Drink this for real.
Absolutely. It's
For
my
real.
favorite.
Henny what?
Henny what?
Henny who?
Henny who?
Come on, man.
Henny where?
Stop playing. Yo.
So it looked like Portia's getting it from Dennis too, because he being messy out here hanging out with Fallon. Okay, someone said I ain't mad at her. Dennis' baby mama got in that lady pool and walked away with her husband. But Fallon is messy. Y'all log out. Someone said Fallon is so damn thirsty. Is she? Someone said everyone keeps talking about Fallon cheating and getting pregnant. Simon put out this narrative that Fallon got pregnant while with him, and that's not true. Fallon got pregnant after he filed for divorce. She had her baby at the end of November. Now, back to Portia. Portia was messing with Simon before they even announced their separation. Portia was smiling in Fallon's face and effing her man at the same time, child. Imagine you invite a co-worker to your home and you didn't know that her and your man were already secretly messing around. I'm sure you would be upset too. Shit, upset ain't the word. Dennis even confirmed that Portia and Simon were messing around while Portia was still with him. She literally stole him from Fallon. Got the receipts. Oh, baby, ouch. I believe it. I totally believe it. And now this whole thing has blown up in Portia's face. And now she wants to act like, she's so innocent, And is Simon Goubadi a scammer? I don't know. We listen, we don't know. But I sure know he's messy. Because, baby, he out here being, he got his foot on her neck and her head, too. So, back to the Real Housewives of Potomac. What is going on with Ashley? I think Ashley is trying to get away from those colorist claims because, baby, she's out here giving flowers to Quad from Married to Medicine. Give a listen, y'all. Give a listen.
Question I have is I'm looking at Instagram. How and why does Quad get to be so damn beautiful? Like, when I see Quad online and in person, that woman is ethereal. Like, I mean, the genetic lottery is clearly real because she hit the jackpot. Like, tell me you're one of God's favorites without telling me you're one of God's favorites. That's Quad. Okay.
Child, what is... Ashley, why the fans ripped her ass up? The fans were tearing her apart. This is what everybody was saying when she posted that video talking about Quad is so beautiful. Keep in mind, Quad is a beautiful woman, but Quad is also a brown-skinned woman. And keep in mind, RHOP has been adjacent to colorism claims from the Jabs and Ashley. Okay, so people are saying, the timing of it all, Ashley. You got Wendy on the show who is just as beautiful, and Candace. So this don't make no kind of sense. Why are you all out of the blue? You're talking about Quad is beautiful. How beautiful she is. Girl, bye. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Kyle Richards says she doesn't know if she's going to return to RHOBH. And she says talking about her separation on buying Beverly Hills was cathartic. Okay, let's get into it.
Well, I'm so proud of these women and the work that they have done. And I lost my mom to breast cancer. And I'm also a mother of 4 daughters.
I'm a breast cancer survivor. Yes.
And I come from a family of all women. I have my 2 sisters. So, anytime I can come out and raise money and awareness and also have a great time, I'm going to be there, of course.
So what's going on with you? Are you going back to Beverly Hills?
I don't know. I'm taking the time to, process and, where I'm at in my life and what I want to do next. So we'll see.
Child, Kyle say this every season. She says this every season. I don't know if I'm going to come back. I don't know if I'm going to come back. Girl, you coming back. You ain't walking away from that fat ass check. Besides, you are now the longest running housewife on all of the housewives because Candy Burris left. And I don't think she's going to give that title up. So I know Kyle is coming back. But it's a political thing to say. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to come back. I have to weigh the options. I got to see what's going on with my life and my marriage. Girl, you coming back. So let's talk about Dorit from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Dorit said she is coming for Crystal Minkoff. Dorit is choosing violence out here. She said if she returns to the show, it's on like popcorn when it comes to her and Crystal, baby. Okay, let's get into it.
I think Crystal is trying desperately to salvage another year. Whatever her game is, I don't know. And the interesting thing about it is, as I'm watching her bit by bit try to, make all of these comments, I think to myself, she's told me a lot of things. I'm never going to share what she shared in confidence, but it's very interesting seeing how she's behaving, especially when she's, aligned with her so-called best friends on the show. And yet she's had the worst things you can imagine to say about them.
Oh boy. So is she trying, what is Dorit trying to say? Is she trying to say that she be talking behind Garcelle and Sutton's back because those are her two best friends on the show? Come on, Dorit, give us the tea, girl. Give us the tea.
And their backs. That combined with seeing her making up these lies, it really, for me anyway, shows me the kind of person that she is.
So what, for the next season, what is that like? Are you like, get away from me, or you have to film with her? Like, what are you going to do?
She's going to choose violence. That's what she's going to do. She's coming for her neck and her head.
I mean, if she comes back, I will, just like I'm doing right now.
Say it to her face.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you guys...
But I think...
So she said if she comes back. Okay, Dorit, what about you? How do you know if you're coming back? It would be such a big embarrassment for Dorit to say that if Crystal is coming back and then Crystal comes back and she don't. Talk about getting egg on your damn face. Let's talk a little bit about the Real Housewives of Orange County. According to Bravo Housewives London UK #RHOC season 18, Tamara Judge and Shannon Beador get into a wild screaming match during a cast trip to London. Shannon says Tamara drinks too much, hurts people, then apologizes. Okay, Shannon. I mean, how is Shannon calling somebody out for drinking? I mean, girl, now the hurting the people and then apologizing, yeah, I get that part. But you can't call her out for drinking. Girl, you got a whole DUI. Shannon, I'm going to need you to sit this one out because that don't even make any sense. No. Then they're saying that also... Jen and Ryan got engaged yesterday at the Grand Hyatt Bahama. Okay, Jen. Jen just got out of a divorce with her first husband. Do these people ever slow down just enough to touch grass, smell grass? Like they just jump from one relationship to another. Like, girl, stop, okay? And Vicky is back to following Tamara Judge. And so here is Tamara Judge talking about season 18. Wow. Season 18. Okay. She says it's going to be good, y'all. Good. Is it season 18? I might be wrong. I might be saying the wrong season, but whatever.
But describe the upcoming OC season in one word.
Well, I'm going to say epic. I've never filmed a season like we're filming this year. I mean, we could have stopped filming a month ago and had a full season.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We even said, like, after the trip, can't we just be done now? Now we only have a week left of filming. And in my mind, it's done. It's over with. Like, it is, so, you guys, I can't even explain how good it is. Of course, I know what we filmed. Then it goes into describe.
Okay, so I'm ready. I'm ready for RHOC. This is one of my favorite housewives because, it put the housewives on the map also. But, RHOA ran with it. I always liked OC. I really, really have. And so I could believe Tamara when she says that. I'm looking forward to it. This is the only housewives besides New York. It just gives you a different kind of vibe. You know what I mean? And so I'm looking forward to seeing what this season is going to bring. After Potomac, child, we need something different. We need something where everything is not so one-sided and biased and colorism. Speaking of Carlos King, was I speaking about him? No, I actually was talking about Teddy and Tamara. Anyway, Carlos King has something to say about Jenna Boren Lyons on The Real Housewives of New York because y'all know they have the go, and they will be coming back soon. So let's listen to this, and then after this, y'all, I'm out.
I don't know why she's on the show, period. I think in real life, she's an accomplished, beautiful, successful woman. She is not a reality star. She just isn't. I don't know. I never heard of her. From Detroit, Michigan. I live in LA, Atlanta as well. I've never heard of Jenna Lyons. She is, in my opinion, strictly New York City. So to give her this sort of like pass, people like me never heard of the woman. And I don't care if she's on or off the show. I think she brings absolutely nothing to New York City.
I have to agree with Carlos King on this one. Like, Jenna Lyons is boring, and I feel like Andy Cohen is trying to make fetch happens when it comes to her. He's right. Out of the New York City circle, whatever, nobody really knows her that well. I mean, she's probably well known, but it's just like she's more of a socialite in New York City. But let's be honest, I live in New York. I ain't never heard of this lady until she joined the show. I feel like she thought she was big shit. You know, she didn't want to go to BravoCon. She didn't want to do this. She didn't want to do that. And I blame Andy Cohen. That's why these housewives got these big ass heads, and they make these demands that they don't want to talk to this one. They're not talking to that one. They're trying to get this one off the show because he allows them to. Jenna Lyons should have been at BravoCon. You're not that big of a star, boo. You're just not that big of a housewife. Now, I could see if Kenya Moore was acting like that. Like, Kenya Moore has put in the work. She has put in the time, okay? I could see, who else? Let me see. Who else? Maybe Tamra Judge. Because they have put in the work, but some of these housewives recently is just acting like, you know, they big shit, and it's not. It's just, listen, I could take or leave Jenna Lyons on the Real Housewives of New York. I really can, because she did. And then didn't she come out not too long ago talking about she ain't gonna be sharing her love life to on the show, her girlfriend, because her girlfriend didn't sign up for this. Girl, it's called The Real Housewives. First of all, you're not a housewives, but so the least you could do is give us some real of your relationship, because you're not a housewife. And it's just so stupid. I'm like, oh my God, Andy, you got these women out here with the biggest heads in the world. Look how long now finally he's going to talk about, like I played earlier, that Melissa and Teresa moving forward, we can't have this no more. You should have been put your foot down with this. Like, you allow these two women to dictate the show, and it spoils the show when the housewives start getting big heads. None of these housewives will ever be a Nene Leakes, okay? So we're gonna need y'all to stop acting like y'all Nene Leakes, okay? And even when Nene Leakes was doing it, y'all was saying she got a big head, but she could have a big head because she is the one who put the housewives on the map. Okay, on the map. So she's allowed to have a big head. You understand? I said Kenya Moore and Tamra Judge. Okay, because Tamra started out first season RHOC, so I'll give it to her. But these other ones coming along, dictating who they not going to speak to, like Giselle and Robin and Ashley, how they ruined Potomac, because Andy Cohen allowed Giselle Bryan and her little lapdog, Robin, or her minion, I should say, to tag along and have this, oh, I'm not talking to Candace and Wendy. Oh, I'm mad at Candace and Wendy. And it just ruined the show. And then they wonder why they have colorism claims. You have colorism claims because your dumbass don't want to talk to the two black girls on the show. That's why. You talk about Robin. Let me play this.
What was the reason why you guys are colorists?
I don't know.
If you want to start with the reason, let's start with the reason. So let's find out why you guys are
anytime we have a
colorists.
conflict with a brown skin person, we're a colorist. But we forget that Karen and I beat, Ashley and I beat for 3 years. Like, it's not fair.
Okay, out of Robin's mouth, she said, Nneka asked her, why are you guys being associated with colorism? She said, we're not colorism. I've had issues with Robin. No, she said, I had issues with Karen and Ashley and Mia. Well, she was naming and whatever. But girl, that's the thing. You had issues with them and you managed to move on. You have issues with Candace and Wendy and you're stuck. Okay, you're mean. You're being mean and nasty, you and Giselle. And it's not making the show watchable. I'm sorry. Why can't you? What did Wendy even do to Robin? I'm trying to think. Oh, she questioned her relationship. And then she got her back when she didn't invite her and her kids to her busted down family event outside in the park. So what is the issue? Robin is doing everything that Giselle is doing because Giselle has a problem with Wendy and Candace. Robin has to have a problem with Wendy and Candace. It's like Giselle is like, people see you as her minion because everything she does, you do. Like, it's like you don't have to hold on to your beef with them because Giselle has beef with them, you know? And this is the thing about Robin. A lot of people said Robin is a cool ass woman. All these women who have on the show always said off the show, Robin is so cool. She's this, she's that. I feel like once she get on the show and she get around Giselle, she just changes. Or do she do that just to befriend them and then turn on them, get information? I don't know, because Robin is kind of like sneaky to me. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Stop allowing these housewives to dictate and put into action what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. And that's why people don't like Potomac no more. Because you listen to Giselle. Giselle got the producers in her pocket, okay? Throughout the reunion, we can't get no flashbacks for Wendy and Candace. But who we got flashbacks for? We got who was in the air. The producer was like, yeah, she did say that. For who? For Giselle. Every time Giselle had something to say, she was backed up. And so, I don't know. I feel like Potomac should be put on pause. And if Jersey can't get it together, they should be put on pause too. Or somebody gotta go. To be honest with you, the Gorgers can go. I'm sick of the Gorgers. Because what else are they gonna do on the show? The kids graduated. They're going off to school. How long he gonna fight about his sister? And now his sister ain't paying him no friggin' piece of mine or anything. So the Gorgers can go. To me, Teresa is more indebted into the group. She's more of, she's Dolores' friend. She has Jennifer Aiden. They do lunch. They do the couple things, whatever. So keep Teresa and her family and get rid of the Gorgers. But you know why he can't get rid of the Gorgers? Because Andy Cohen, he has this thing about men who are cute, like Joe Gorga, and he's even starting it now with Amir from Summer House. Child. I'm done. That's all I got, y'all. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for listening to All Things Housewives. This is the Goodness Gracious Podcast. Bye.